Rip. Oh, you don't need that when I'm about it. Hey, everybody, this is the WooFDriver. We're live in the forest, almost in a mountain biking situation with the 4 Huskies, the Wolf Pack, myself, and all the WooFDriver Pit crew. About to take you on a tour. The dogs are raring to go, and we got a lot of fun in store for you. Shawman's going to narrate, and I'm going to turn it over to him. Shaw?
This is the Shawman. I am on the chase vehicle back behind there with the monkey on the driving seat.
The monkey, man.
The monkey. Brett is back here. He's just kind of riding along for the fun of it on this ride. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing.
He pays us to go along.
He's sitting back there smiling a lot. That's about what he does. We are on the Lancaster County River Trail. It's a very rustic trail here up in the backwoods of Pennsylvania, right along the Lancaster County River, as you can see here. It's a beautiful trail on a beautiful spring, slightly overcast, but a nice, refreshingly cool spring day. But you can see this trail is pretty narrow. So any of you that didn't see us on the first leg of our journey are going to see a lot of the trials and tribulations we've had to go through. There's been roots and rocks and narrow bridges and streams and all kinds of stuff we've had to navigate. So this is not going to be your normal WooFDriver run where we just hop down a rail trail and go 20 miles an hour and go free. This is a lot of like off-road.
Okay, she wants to go.
The WooFDriver's bike is pretty robust, and it's been handling it pretty well. This is the latest iteration of the WooFDriver contraptions that he's made, and it's handling things pretty well. We, on the other hand, the stepchildren of the WooFDriver crew, are back here on the first iteration. Very low profile, small narrow wheels, single wheel on the back. And I'm going to be precariously bounced on the back of the seat. So you're going to have to forgive me if the camera gets a little bit jumpy here. But we're going to go ahead and get going here. Go ahead and go. When? Bill's saying tell him when. So I'm saying when. This trail is a little bit more challenging because it's more designed for hikers and two-wheeled bikes, so it's a little bit narrow and it gets kind of angly. So far I've almost fell off the bike once, and Monkey's fallen off once.
I tripped over the bike getting back on it.
Okay, he didn't fall off the bike, he fell on the bike. And as I get ready to fall off the bike, giving him a hard time about almost falling off the bike. So here we go. Most of the time it's pretty safe, but as you can see, if I fall off here, it's not going to be a very good fall. So Mikey's going to be very careful as he drives me along here. I'm literally putting my life in his hands, but we've been friends for like 15 or 20 years now, and this is not the first time I've put my life in his hands. How it is I'm still alive, I'm not sure.
15 years, hasn't it?
It's been over that.
2000, yeah. Okay.
It's 2016. We've known each other since 2000. How many years is that, Mr. Monkey?
15 years, you're right.
So 16 years would be quote-unquote 15 to 20 years, right?
Would be quote-unquote 15 to 20 years.
Okay. So now that the jabbing is over with, now that that's over with, you're getting ready to see what we've already come across. Well, this could be the 4th bridge we've hit. These bridges are pretty narrow. The bikes can get across, but the dogs make the whole setup pretty wide. So what we've been having to do is take off either one set of dogs from one side or both sides. And when the WooFDriver gets up to it, he makes that call. The dogs are very well trained, so they will, a lot of times when we're back out here in the remote areas, we feel comfortable letting them just go what we call free range, where we just let them go off leash. And then the dogs just listen to the WooFDriver's verbal commands.
You want to do it? Right? Yeah.
We get the dogs across the bridge. He gives them a command. They lay down. Then Rhett and Monkey will get the bikes across, and we'll hook back up again. This is, like I said, for those of you that weren't on our previous feed, this is about the third or fourth time we've had to do this so far on this trail.
Princess.
This has been one of the easier to. This has been one of the easier to manage problems that we've been having. And there's Zorro Pup. He is my buddy. Zorro is just the biggest sweetie pie of the whole group. All you're probably seeing in the camera right now is fur because he just wants to snuggle right up to you.
Good boy, good job. Look at that, dude. Good boy.
So here's a stream. This is why this bridge is here. The stream, that's the railroad tracks that we're paralleling. A lot of times these trails you see like this, at least trails that we can navigate, go along railroad tracks because railroad tracks need to be relatively flat, and we like to have flat trails because the bikes can have a hard time getting up and down. So a lot of in our videos you'll oftentimes see railroad tracks paralleling us, or we're on a rail trail that used to be a railroad track that's been converted into a trail. So we see railroad tracks quite often. And as a lot of you probably know, railroad tracks often follow rivers because rivers tend to be pretty level and flat. They can't go up and down mountains, obviously. So I'm going to repeat a few things here for those of you that weren't on the prior webcast. The dogs are trained very well. Bill learned how to train his dogs from a police dog trainer. Police dogs are taught their commands in German so that they don't get confused by English-speaking people around them. So their command to lay down is Platz. So we missed that because they ran ahead. But Bill gave the command Platz, and they lay down and chill and just wait for the next command, which I'm going to say softly so they don't get confused. Free. Free. And that means that they can get up and run free. So once we get all the bikes set, then WooFDriver will release them and we'll hook them back up to the bikes, and we'll get back down the trail. Okay, and that's, you probably didn't hear that, but he just said it real softly, and they just popped right up. Hoping that the trail is going to be a little bit better. This is looking pretty good compared to what we've been on. One of our big challenges so far is we're going into about about an hour and a half into the ride so far. One of the biggest challenges we've had is tree roots, of all things. A lot of the trail gets narrow, big huge roots go over the trail. As you can see, this bike has got a pretty high ground clearance, so it can navigate those pretty well. But the second bike is pretty low, and we've been grounding out on a lot of roots, so we've been having to get off and get the bikes over them. Here's how many dog carts are in the arsenal now? About 8 of them?
Yeah, about 8.
It's about 8 of them. This is the newest one. What's the name? Have you given this one a name yet?
Rick, Chris nicknamed it the tractor trailer.
The tractor trailer.
It's so long.
So this is a tractor trailer. It's definitely the longest and the highest ground clearance. It's got the biggest wheels. So we actually have the newest out of 8 or 9, and we have the first one, the oldest.
Old Bessie.
That has various different names. Big Red, Old Red. But it just keeps on working. Everything else has had technical problems, either damages from the trail or motors burning out.
Don't jinx it.
And this one just keeps on working. So that's why we're on this one. The power systems have been pretty reliable that we've contracted out for these devices. But the motors, the EcoSpeed motors, it's called the speed controllers. It's kind of like the computer that controls the bikes. We've had a lot of issues with both of those. So a lot of the other carts are in and out of Crispy's repair shop, awaiting parts. The company that originally made a lot of these systems that have proven to be unreliable is now, surprise, surprise, out of business. So we're retrofitting or buying parts from other suppliers that are taking advantage of the vacuum of availability of the parts. So this new supplier that makes a compatible part just recently started shipping a lot of compatible replacement parts. So we're hoping to get a lot of the other bikes back on the trail so that we have some more options other than just these two. What we call the green bike, which is similar to the style of this, but a little bit smaller, but it still has big wheels and so forth. We almost brought on this, but there was a question with one of the wheels that we didn't want to risk on this run. And after seeing this trail, that was a good call. So here we are again at another bridge. This is the fifth bridge, sixth bridge. I've lost count of them now. A lot of times on the rail to trails, especially the busier ones, the bridges are much wider so they can have two-way traffic. Obviously they didn't anticipate two-way traffic on this trail and made a bunch of narrow bridges. So we go free ranging and the bikes come across on their own. Rhett seems to be having a little bit more difficulty this time. Here we are, patiently waiting as he just strolls and takes his time, and then he contemplates, since I'm giving him a hard time, just running me over.
Don't want to run here, man. I like it too much. Come back.
And here are the puppy dogs, patiently over here plutzing. And we're going to get up here, and Bill's going to wait. The WooFDriver is going to wait until I get here to give the command, so you can actually see it and hear it this time. You can see how they're excited, but they're still listening. Sometimes he has to reinforce the Plutz command.
You ready?
Yep.
Hey guys. Free! Ho, 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 ho. Come on, sir. Zara. Zara. Pretty. Come on. She's fine. Come on, princess. Zara.
So they listen surprisingly well, considering how high energy they are and the temptations for all the different things to smell. They got to come out here and mark their territory and everything. So they're never take off totally and just be like poof, gone. But sometimes it's a little bit hard because they're just kids. Sometimes they, just like normal kid, they push the envelope and they're like, okay, well, before you hook me back up, I'm going to run over here 20 feet and I'm going to go smell this tree and do what dogs do to trees. And then they come back. Because even little Miss Hardhead Princess, little Miss Hardhead Princess is still a good girl for the most part. Aren't you, Princess Girl?
How many viewers are you clocking in?
We got 20 viewers right now.
Okay. Oh.
21.
Oh. Easy girl.
So Bill just asked me how many viewers we had. We had, the last one we had 550 unique viewers with about an average of 30 to 40 on at any given time. This is a new feed and we're only 15 minutes into it, so it's going to take a little while for word to get out. So we'll probably get back up to that 30 or 40.
And they won't see this anywhere else. This is it. Yeah, folks, you won't see this anywhere else in the world. I mean, I'm probably the only one doing this, especially with these kinds of this kind of sophistication with these bikes and the lengths that we've gone to travel to the different places and have the dogs as trained as they are. And we do it all for the dogs. I mean, they're enjoying themselves. I'm just enjoying life and sharing it with you guys.
Just to give you guys an idea of how complex these systems are that he's developed. There's lithium-ion batteries as supplemental power. There's pedal-powered systems to back up that. The lithium-ion power systems or run a motor, which I'm not sure where the motor is on this one.
Right here.
Well, here it is. Motor's all the way up front on this one. Most of the times they're mid-drive. This is a front drive. So the motor's up front. Big, huge. Are those custom wheels?
Yeah.
So these are custom-made wheels. These are not normal wheels that you can just go in a bike shop and buy. So this is the latest iteration of his contraptions. Out of it's about more like 10 of them. That's counting them up in my head. We're on the chase vehicle back here. This is Monkey on the chase vehicle. And this is actually just a modified trike. And this is the first one we ever did. So this is the oldest and newest of the WooFDriver contraptions that we're out here on the trail on. Here, especially that dog cart up there that Bill is on. It's been nicknamed the tractor trailer, I think, or big rig, or I forget what the nickname is for it. But these are all custom designed with specifications and recommendations. Hold on a second. Hold on, Bill.
Bill.
Okay, go ahead. Need to close the gap. This one here is a modification that we're on of an existing trike. Up there, that is about a 6th generation of that style of bike, of constant build one, figure out improvement, build a second, figure out improvement, and build a third. That's about the 6th one of that style. And I would challenge there to be anybody else in the world that has went through what WooFDriver has gone through to build these overland dog carting systems. He has some that are built specifically for sand to go out on beaches and sand dunes and sandy areas. He has other ones other than this series. I said that's about the 5th or 6th of that style. There's also ones that are 4-seaters that are much higher, sitting much higher up off the ground. 2 people in the front, 2 people in the back. And that's more of like a cruising through the neighborhood on paved roads type of system. He's got a couple of those that he's had custom made and designed. So there's a variety of different systems that he's designed, all for different purposes. It's always a constant, instead of build a better mousetrap with Bill, it's build a better dog cart. What makes this one very unique is how narrow it is compared to a lot of the other bikes. It makes doing a trail like this much easier. We still have to get off, as you can see here, often, because once they get past, you'll see it's kind of hard to see through this. Let me get ahead of them so you can see this. This has been the challenge that we've been having to go through. A lot of this trail, unlike a lot of the rail trails that we're on, has a lot of roots through it, and it makes it very difficult to roll over, especially with the dogs attached. We're always worried that safety of the dogs is number one. So going over a bumpy area like this, and if the dogs were to stumble and get their foot underneath the wheel, we just don't want to risk that. So anytime we get into any kind of sketchy area like this, we just stop and take it very carefully and very easily, and push. Plus it gets on, if you can quite see here, but it also gets kind of on an angle. The one disadvantage of having such a high ground clearance like we have on that system there is that it has the high ground clearance means it has a very high center of gravity, and it can tip over pretty easy. You'll see when Rhett just rolls it across here how it's angling. Actually, he's just lifting it up.
You might want to help him a little.
You got it, Rhett, or?
I got it.
I'm
just worried about the dogs.
Yep, well, that's
yeah.
Just scream at me.
Yeah, Princess is doing good.
Break the bike, just watch. No.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Watch Princess coming through that tree.
Right behind me.
Yep, yep.
Coming up to you, Sean.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me make sure.
Come down.
Yep, Princess is good here. She's so good, she's just sniffing as you go
Easy,
along.
guys. Easy.
You okay? You need me to get
Yeah, good boy.
get in there and help you? All right. Monkey says he's got it, but let me give him a hand anyhow. So you're going to see a little bit of jittery video here as I give Monkey a hand. Why don't you just pick up the back? I'll pick up the front. Actually, I don't think that's going to work. Not with me staying on cam.
I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
I can at least steer.
Yep.
I can try to steer. Nope, I can't steer. Not with one hand. Okay. So for all you people that are getting on here for the first time, this is the worst part of the trail we've hit yet. Monkeys is our new WooFDriver crew.
What the heck?
You might be caught.
There we go.
There we go. Monkey's our new WooFDriver crew, and he's a friend of mine of a long time. And I was like, yeah, come along with us. You just get to drive along and get to ride the cart as I shoot video. And he's like thinking in the back of his mind right now, yeah, ride along in a dog cart to shoot video. I didn't sign up for this.
All good, man.
Getting some exercise. I need to catch up with the WooFDriver here though. Just right here. Your last spot is right here between these two trees, and then you're good. You might be able to even ride it over these roots here. These roots here aren't too bad. This is your worst spot right there. Now they went down to the left down here. Whoop. Okay.
Mad yet? No.
Yeah, this wheel's bumped.
What's that? It's the wheel?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a love tap.
Okay. We ready, guys?
Yeah, yeah. Just stay off until you get past that field.
All right.
Okay. Tell you what, navigating all these rooty areas, sometimes you lose perspective. So what's right next to us? Whoa! Uh-oh. Everybody okay?
Yep, everybody's good.
I'm good.
Everybody's
You
good.
okay?
I'm good.
Yep.
Hold on.
All right, hold on.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm gonna disconnect Chase here.
I tried though.
Oh, you okay?
That's good. Nobody got hurt.
Everybody's okay.
Everybody's okay.
Dog's alright?
Yep.
Yep.
It's fine.
Flipped
Oh, the wheel
over.
came off.
Yeah. I saw that.
Everybody's fine here. What happened was they hit an angled area here, and
That's a big problem.
the bike flipped over. And it looks like we might have lost the wheel. Nobody was hurt. All the dogs are okay.
Oh, we should have.
But we lost the wheel.
I know.
Let's see how bad it is.
So that goes, pops up in there.
Dogs can get hurt though.
They got
Yeah, that's good.
breaking glass.
It looks like the wheel. Okay, hold on to that rat before you put that on there. Stop a sec. That,
yeah.
that handlebar is in the wrong spot. It needs to come back.
Shit. No, the whole handlebar broken.
Is it? Well, we're on
It's turning. Just turn it around. Bring it around back.
Bring it
It's got to go like that. Now put the wheel on.
Okay. It's self-locking.
So it looks like it just might have popped out of the self-locking. Is all.
I can get it if I can.
It reminds me of my days when I was driving a Model T across the United States of America.
I bet it does.
When they didn't have roads. Can you imagine that? Trying to drive across America with no highway.
Hey, Bill, hold that handlebar.
So the wheels popped off. There's a self-locking mechanism. Trying to figure out if that's for the wheel or if that's for the hub. I think that self-locking is actually for the wheel, Rhett. I think that's a take.
Oh, for this.
Yeah. So I think what's happened is that's some sort of compress-on fitting there that you're trying to compress by hand.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen.
You don't think you can take it?
So
No.
guys,
I thought I could lock this one down to there, but it's actually to release this. So
I think we are off the trail. Well, unfortunately, we're on the trail.
Well, let's get the dogs off. So,
Yeah.
okay. Monkey, can you release them?
Maybe we could roll forward to a flatter area and we could
Yeah.
reassess.
hold
Yeah.
on one second.
Let's let the dogs up. Come on,
Yeah,
sir.
well,
Sir.
we'll do that, but
Luckily, Monkey is a freelancer right now working for the WooFDriver. He is actually a metal worker
yeah,
by
so if we had a
trade.
welder.
So
That's not
if there's
even
anybody that can figure out some, as a term that we've used in the past, to monkeyfy something, we've got the monkey right here to monkeyfy.
We're gonna need some baling wires, some duct tape, some chewing gum.
I didn't say MacGyver it. Monkeyfy it. When you monkeyfy something, that means make it work as it sits. So what?
Hold on, let me get these bearings for Crispy.
Are the bearings shot, or are they any good? No, looks like they're a little stripped there. All right, can that wheel can't come off. How about if okay, I guess you know what, guys, sorry everybody, but you can see we're having some technical difficulties here. I'm gonna go offline and give them a hand, and then once we get this under control, I'll come back on and you guys can stick with the adventure right here. So be back on here in a few minutes.